So let's get right to our movie this week. Our second movie is...
It's my movie, the Oscar-nominated... No, it wasn't. Beekeeper. And we're back.
Okay, no more little boo-boo-boo. That's not happening anymore.
Just this week.
Welcome back.
Because the movie, hey, we're back.
So let's get right to our movie this week. Our second movie is...
It's my movie, the Oscar-nominated... No, it wasn't. Beekeeper. So this movie, I'm a big fan of Jason Statham. Well, I'm always fan of those. You know, I used to be a big fan of Liam Neeson. But now Jason Statham has taken all those roles. So and I like those. As long as I don't kind of go over the top, I like those kind of movies. So I chose Beekeeper. I really like the concept of this movie and on so many levels. The movie is basically that Jason Statham is a beekeeper. You know, he keeps bees. He's renting a room, I guess, in this lady's house. It's just like almost like a farm, not a farm, but a bit lot of land. Who's Felicia Rashad. So he's, keeping bees, whatever. And then she goes on the computer, and then it says like there's a virus on the computer. So she phones, they phone this number to help you, and then she phones, and the movie is basically about those companies that get you, they tell you have a virus, and then they hack you and take everything.
The phishing scam.
Phishing scams. Yeah. So that's what they do to her. And because she also takes care of a children's fund, and it has $1 million in it, they wipe her out. They literally wipe her out completely. So she feels so bad about it that she ends up committing suicide, as you see. So and then of course the beekeeper just finds out about it. Finds out her police officer comes into the house, and it turns out that that's her daughter, and she finds out that she was committed suicide, and she's kind of investigating what happened, and she figures out. So she's FBI. I think she's FBI. Not
FBI, right?
She's had a partner. He's a really funny guy, actually. He kind of reminds me of Phil.
Yeah.
She kind of figures out what's going on, but then with Jason Statham, we find out, because he starts finding what's going on too, that he really is a beekeeper. And a beekeeper being a secret organization of, that keep the balance, just like bees, they keep the balance in the hive, which we in the world. So there was great ideas, great correlation of the world of bees and the actual world. I thought that he, aside from some of the exaggerated fight scenes, I thought I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I thought it was, just the idea was brilliant, and also had a pretty big cast for a movie that I would call no pun intended, a B movie with what's his face? He was I don't even know the right face here.
Oh, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons,
yeah.
And then there was Mimi Driver, and then just a bunch of big names. And
I forgot about her.
Obviously, Felicia Rashad. So I thought this movie has so much potential. It could have been a really good movie. I've seen it twice. Because the first time I saw it, and I thought when it first came out that, I'll make this my movie. But I felt about on the third scene, or we'll call it
Third.
3/4 the movie started to go a little downhill for me, because now it became John Wick. so it's like, but I found it very entertaining. I think Jason Statham is really funny, and I think the camera likes him. He's like so I actually did enjoy the movie.
As you said, to me, this was almost a good movie. It was like it could have been such a good film. It had great potential. Jason Statham is very charismatic. As the unassuming Adam Clay, he's ex-commando turned beekeeper, who rents a space from Eloise Parker Felicia Richard, who unfortunately has only a limited role in this, because all of them only have
it was a perfect limited role.
It was, but she's a good actress.
Yeah, she
you
is.
know what I mean? I would have liked to see more of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm talking about why it was lacking, where it was lacking.
Where it
for
was
me.
lacking. Okay.
But she was basically there to set up the plot.
Right.
That's kind of.
You're like, not Mrs. Huxtable.
Exactly.
That'll piss you off.
Exactly.
Now you've done wrong.
this relationship with her is really what sets off most of the movie. I mean, that's kind of the beginning. But I would have liked to know, how did these two meet each other? What kind of relationship did they have other than she's his landlord? I don't know.
Wow, I never think of things like that.
But unfortunately, the film doesn't do any of this. It doesn't go any of those places. We're getting to the point, right? The point is the bad guys, and the bad guys are pretty interesting. You know what I mean?
Cartoonish.
They're very bad. They're very bad. So you won't mind that he kicks the shit out of them, right? The movies like this are pretty formula, but this movie actually hit the formula. If you like these kind of movies, it was good. But it's kind of like a kick-ass fairy tale, because you can't do that. You know what I mean? But I kind of like movies for guys who like movies.
Wait till you see Jason Statham in Safe.
Yeah.
That sounds good too.
This is what I say here, that hits formula. But at the end, it's really a fairy story for people who would like to kick the living shit out of bad guys, and this film doesn't disappoint.
For guys who like to watch movies.
That's why it's so popular.
Exactly.
Okay, the Beekeeper. I kept seeing Beekeeper, and I love Jason Statham. But what makes him so lovable in this, and why you get immediately you like him, is because he has this relationship with his landlady, and he's a beekeeper. So they're showing a gentle, different side of him instead of just the, all-out assassin. And it reminded me of John Wick movies because they did that with John Wick. That's why it's so popular. It's a lot of fighting and then a gentle part. A lot of fighting and then a gentle part. And that's what I thought was similar.
Another thing that reminded me of, there's one scene that cracked me up, that reminded me of John Wick and Rambo. There's this movie we say like when Jeremy Irons is talking to the kid, he goes, "Oh, you pissed off that he's gonna come after you and he's gonna find you." It's like the
Right.
John Wick, they say the same thing.
Right.
Nobody can stop this guy.
Right.
Same thing happened in Rambo. He's down 2 tours or whatever. Nobody can stop him. You're in trouble now. You're gonna have to send the entire whatever military.
You have to have that in.
And
Right.
he's gonna kill them all. He's
Yeah.
gonna come after you.
Right.
They will have like some guy making that speech, and Jeremy Irons made that speech here and there.
Yeah. But it was entertaining. I'd never watch it twice, but it was okay. You know what I mean? It was okay. Got me through.
Oh, me? Okay. I feel the way, Susie, I think you put it perfectly, because it's one of these movies that, like you said, it's sort of almost ridiculous of what you're watching. But it's not boring at any means.
No,
now,
it's
for me,
not.
what I liked is he does state, and this is what I like about movies like this, no deep explanation. He just tells, if I'm not mistaken, the Adam Clay, Jason Statham's character, tells the Verona Parker, the daughter who's the FBI. He said, "Your mother is the only person ever to look after me."
Right.
Meaning that as a beekeeper, what he did, as working for the government and CIA, that he sort of was wounded, and for some reason,
She took him in.
right, she took him in, but you don't see or hear anything else besides that one
I
thing,
believed
right?
him though when he said it.
But because it's Felicia Rashad, like you said, Mrs. Cosby, it's like, yeah, of course she is. She's this nice person. She has a charity she's running.
Yeah.
So what this reminded me, not so much John Wick, but all of these martial arts movies
Right.
where it's just about vengeance and justice
I know.
at its most base form.
Yeah.
And so if that's what you want, that's what you get. And I must admit, I did like the fact that this young actor, Josh Hutcherson, I don't know if you know
Oh yeah,
him.
he's in Hunger Games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I remember when he was like this, a 12-year-old in this
Right.
movie, Little Manhattan, where he's playing this, basically is about a young boy falling in love for the first time,
Right.
right? So to see him graduate to even these kind of roles, because he was really despicable. He
And he
tried
had
to
a
be
great bad
charming.
guy. He had a
Yes,
great
exactly.
bad
He
guy.
has a charm when you first meet him, then you realize what a scumbag
Yeah.
he is.
And you hate
Spoiled
him.
brat.
And then, and like you said, the cast, I thought, okay, because, Minnie Driver, I thought, oh, wow. And then it's like, oh, she's really not in it that much. Or Michael Epps, right? Or Mike Epps is like, oh, and it's like, no, he's not in it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They want the name, not the
But
person.
it is Jason Statham's movie from start to finish.
Yep.
and I do mean this. It does get to that ridiculous part, like a John Wick, where it's like, okay, these people are just superhuman. They keep people with machine guns. 12 of them are centered on this guy, and no one can hit him once. Right? That type of mentality. Which, like I said, I don't mind because he's justice. And so you're in his corner rooting for him. The way you did with John Wick, the way you do for all these characters. You don't care how many people they kill.
Bad guys are always bad shots
Because
in
they're
this
bad guys.
Because they're the
Very
hero.
bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With the exception of that's the funny thing, because at one point the military, and he even confronts them, right? The people are outside. He says, look, you better go so you don't get hurt. He warns these people. He doesn't seem to kill them. He wounds them, if you notice that, right? But the people who are bad, he will just outright kill and not make any, and not even worry about it. He will just shoot them.
I
Right?
thought it was funny that they're outside because the movie has a lot of like pissing contests, like
Yes.
there's a private
Private
security firms, and then the military's there, like, and they're like, well, we're here now, we're gonna pay you guys go, and the military's like, wow, they bark, but the military has to go outside, and they're all discussing, well, where he will get in, can he go in the back? And he just walks in like, no, I wouldn't do that because I can get in the back. I'm just gonna go right here.
Exactly. That's what I mean.
Conversation.
Exactly. And that's what sort of makes it sort of entertaining. I mean, it's just because you can't take this seriously, right? But, I have to admit, the scumbags, like you said, they kept getting worse and worse as far as these the two fishing people that you meet. That he's not just taking out the people scamming, he's taking out the buildings, on the people. And he tells the people, leave now. If you don't want to be shot at, leave now. I mean, he warns everybody what he's going to do before he actually does it.
So he has a fair sense of justice.
Exactly. He doesn't want to kill anyone who sort of, even though they know what they're not innocent. He says, you know what you did. In fact, he tells the first time, I just love that where he confronts them and says, repeat after me. You will not be, this kind of stuff. And I thought, how funny. He's even schooling them before he destroys the whole thing. So, like I said, I think it's just a simple, fun movie. I would never watch this movie because I thought, oh, it's just one of these violent movies. But, I wasn't turned off by it. I was sort of disappointed, like you said, towards the end. That's the only thing, because where they took it, I thought, I really sort of predicted it, and I thought, oh, how are they going to resolve this? And they don't, in my opinion, resolve it enough because of where they take it to at the end. But I thought, at least justice was served. And that's all I can say.
He ain't no Superman, but he's close.
Exactly.
Well, also, too, also for the movie, I thought they gave some interesting stuff on bees, and I wish they would have given more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would have correlated the movie more with bees.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very much so, especially about
they did
societies,
They
right?
did a little bit.
Yeah,
Collective
really
society and how you always do the best for society.
Yeah, they did a little bit,
Yeah.
but I wanted more.
We'll have to go to National Geographic for
The one thing
that.
they got right is like, in all these movies, there's always the female character that they'll take on the 6'8" guys and take the crap out of them, and his replacement.
Yeah.
It's a female too.
Well, that was a funny
He
part.
almost
And-
lost it
and-
there. He was almost like,
Oh,
oh, no.
no, and then he takes care of her like that. Well, that makes more sense.
Oh,
Give it a number,
excuse
baby.
me. Okay, so that's it for this week.
No, we have to.
Oh, we
rate
have to
it.
score.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. So that
It's on
would
you.
be.
You.
Oh, yes, it would. You're right.
Has she ever done this before?
It's 'cause
I'm injured.
it's like it's
Okay.
Boo
Boo-boo.
Boo-boo.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll give it 6.
I'll give it a 7.
I give it a 5.
This Oscar nominated, actually for the Jason Statham movies, because I've seen a lot of them, and he
too.
can do some crappy ones. I mean, I saw the shark one, and that
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
Oh, the Meg.
The Meg,
I
right.
mean, this is on the upper level of Jason Statham movies. Safe probably being the best one, maybe. So, but I will give it that type of a movie. I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Okay, doke. So now can I say it? No. So that ends it for this week, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, I'll be back.